So this is my Atari 2600, and I was the other day testing out this cartridge, Yard's Revenge, that I got from eBay, marked as not working. And as I was testing it out, it actually broke on me. I thought this would be a great opportunity for a video. So this is if I can fix my 2600, then we can test this and try to fix this if indeed it isn't working, because I haven't had a chance to try it yet. So the first thing I want to do is rule out the power supply as the issue. So I've got my official Atari plug plugged in, and I'm going to set my multimeter to direct current. It should take, there we go, 20 volts. So it should take 9 volts, the Atari 2600. Now it might be a bit higher. The plug might be outputting a voltage a little bit higher than that, which is okay within a certain range, that is. So let's have a look. It's negative because I got it the wrong way around, but that's okay. So it looks like, if I can get those, about 12, 13 volts. But that's fine. That's fine because the voltage regulator will make sure that it's 9 volts inside the system. 12 to 13 isn't too bad. I'd say 15, maybe higher than that, might be cause for concern, but 12 to 13 is fine. So we can rule that out. We are getting power. So the next thing I want to do is open this console up and have a look inside and take a few measurements and see what's going on. Here we go. How does this? I think this just slides right off. Put over the top of the switch is there, and it's off. Here we go. So what's we've got inside? One large cap there. What is this? No idea what this piece of paper is for. 3rd of May. I can't read that. 1st of May, 19. I can't read what that says. 19 something. Can't read that actual date. It's a shame, because obviously that's probably when the board was made. 19 something or other. Looks like a 6, but that can't be a 6. Yeah, not sure. Okay, so let's have a look. So here are our switches. It's interesting. They're joined by this bit of foil paper. Don't know what that's for. No idea. Maybe to protect dust and things and debris from getting inside the switches, perhaps. There's a bit of paper here. I don't know. Let us then, and there's the aerial coaxial cable going out there. Let's remove the board, and we can turn it round, plug it in, and then I can do some testing with the multimeter to see what's going on. Okay, so we've got a couple of screws here. There's one, got another the other side. Now, I should be able to lift that board off, maybe. Sort of. This, we flip it round. Like so. We can take a look. Right, from the board we can actually see, hard to make out, but there it says copyright 77. So I think this was made in 77. I plugged in the power cord, but haven't plugged in the power just yet. I just want to have a quick look at the board and try to figure out what's going on here. I think this rail here is positive, and that's pin number 2, and then pin number 1 I think it's negative, and it goes all the way around here to the bottom of the switch, to the off position. And then the positive, which I think is the positive, that goes around here and down to the top, which I assume is the on position. When you flip it up, I think that's turning it on. And if you can see too, those two, you can see on the PCB, those two pins there are bridged. So there should be a connection there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on the power supply, and I'm just going to measure the voltages around here just to see what's going on, if we are actually getting a voltage or not. So I want to see if there's any voltage coming in. So let's do the neutral here and positive there. So let's do this, 0.83. Okay, that's nothing. Okay, so we can voltage across these pins here. Nothing's going on. Okay, well, that's interesting. So we're actually getting, it seems like no voltage, even when the power's on. I'm not getting any kind of reading. I wonder, let's turn off the plug. What I'm thinking is I might test that switch. Maybe the switch has gone bad. Right, so there should be a connection between these two, because they know that when they're connected by the board, it looks like. So I've got it in continuity mode. There we go. Got something. I think there's a bit of flux maybe that's preventing my probes from connecting. There we go, connection there. And it is in the off position, just make sure. Oh, it isn't. Okay, now it's in the off position. I want to make sure that there's no connection there. Shouldn't be no connection there in the off position, right? Okay, turn it on. Now we should hear it bleep, beep. There we go, 1, 2. So that switch seems to be okay. Let's test these voltages. So if it's on, so it's on now, on the negative, and then just put it on a positive. Oh, we're getting 5.3 volts there. That seems pretty good. I mean, I'm not sure if that's exactly what we need, but that's strange. So obviously I turned it off. $12 volts. So what is going on? 1 minute 0 volts, next 12, 13 volts. I am quite confused by that. Let's take a closer look at where the power comes in through that power port. Let's try to give this a pull. Let's see if it comes. Oh, there we go. Oh, it's quite easy actually. Oh, beautiful. All right, let's. We've got the aerial in here as well. All right. So let's pull that out. We can separate that board completely. Let's place it over here. And now what I want to get to is that the power jack. Because that's the first thing I want to investigate, and then see if I can find if there's anything there causing the problem. And it looks like these two screws here take off that metal unit in the middle, the metal sort of cartridge unit. So can I take these off? Yes, I can. Come off nice and easy. I love taking things like this apart. It's usually very simple, very easy. All the components are nice and big and chunky, easy for me to see. And look at that. How easy was that? Okay, so we got that middle unit there, and the power jack. Just take that off. There. Okay, let's take a look. See what's going on. So I'm going to pop the Gonna pop in some power. Let's get a closer look for you. All right, let's plug it in. It looks like we've got one part of the power jack connected here, and then another part connected just here. So one part connected here, one part connected here. I'd imagine, yeah. So I don't know which one's the outer casing and which one's the inner pin, but we'll find out. Let's see where this is going. So that's the outer casing goes to here, this pin here. And how about the middle pin? Let's see if I can get that in there. Get it right down there. There you go, I'm touching the center pin there. So center pin is these ones. The out casing is this one. So the outside of the case is negative. The outside of this power jack is negative, the casing. And this is the positive. So we should be getting a voltage reading. We do. We do. $13 dead on. So we are getting some voltage coming in. Oh, hold on. Did you see that? Did you see that? Hold on, let's take a closer look at that. That's not right. That's not right. So, zoom in a bit. Ah, look at that. I don't think that. I think that is a broken solder joint. Look how loose that is. No wonder. Look. I'll get even closer so we can have a closer look just to make sure before I do anything. Yeah, look at that. That is completely loose. Look at that, it's completely loose. Well, not completely, I mean it's touching it, but it's almost broken free completely from the solder. So I imagine if I wiggled that power adapter around, it would turn on and off. Look at that, yeah. That might be the problem, you know. Alright, let's reflow that solder joint. Okay, that looks pretty solid there. Give it a wiggle test. Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Let's just make sure continuity before we start putting anything back together again. So outside the casing. Yeah, there we go. And what pin does that go to? And there should be something here. If I touch the outer case, touch this, there we go. Beautiful. So I tested out the 2600 with a game that I know works. This is Winter Games, and I've tested it before. Definitely works, and it worked fine, except for we had a black and white fuzzy image. So I played around with the black and white color switch on the 2600 console. It did nothing. So then I played around with the aerial coaxial cable, and lo and behold, I now have a color picture. So that's a fantastic result. Obviously that was the problem, a loose power port. Now in the rest of the video, you're going to see me putting it back together, but I decide while I'm in there to give it a bit of love and care. What you're going to see me doing is using a spray that cleans contacts and also lubes them up. Good for switches. So that's why I'm spraying it in these to clean the contacts inside and make them go up and down a bit easier. Also what I do is I add some thermal paste between the voltage regulator and the heatsink. So voltage regulators, they can get a bit hot. The thermal paste, I'm guessing, is from the 70s because I haven't touched it since I got this unit. So you'll see me doing that as well. Removing the old thermal paste using isopropyl alcohol and applying new thermal paste. This is Arctic Silver. So it's a good thermal paste, and that will help reduce the heat generated by that regulator and hopefully extend its life. So while that's happening, I'll just think back on this project. And thinking back, I probably should have started with that power port to begin with and worked my way from there, rather than the way I did it, starting from that main board and working my way to the power port. And looking back, it also makes sense now why I was getting wildly different voltages each time I measured, because the first time I measured, I was getting practically no voltage. And then I did it again and I was getting like 12, 13 volts. And that's probably because the power port was making intermittent contact with the board, giving me 1 minute full voltage working fine and the next minute nothing, or next to nothing. So it kind of makes sense now. Anyway, got there in the end, and I've got to say it's been one of my more enjoyable fixes. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you have and you want to see more like it, please do like the video and subscribe, and I hope to see you again in the next one. Bye for now.